My today's speech could be for someone a bit hard to understand. It will be more philosophical than usual, and at the beginning I have a bit tough question. What is evil? How do you characterize it? Can you tell me what is evil for you?
But it is bad.
Yes, great, great. Some other ideas? How do you imagine in your mind?
Sometimes money.
Money? Okay. Great.
War.
War, great. Thank you.
War or work?
Yes, as well. Well, this question was asked many, many years ago. Maybe you have heard about one guy, St. Augustine. He lived in the 4th century, and he was something like a father of Christianity. Or another guy, Thomas Aquinas. He lived in the 13th century, and like St. Augustine, he was a philosopher and theologian. Have you ever heard about these guys? In school or somewhere? Yeah? Something a bit small? Great. Well, these two guys were completely devoted to God and religion. So people were asking them many various questions, and one of them was, if God is so merciful and created everything on this world, why there is an evil? Why he created evil? And their answer was a bit unexpected. There is no evil. Evil is just absence of good. When I heard this for the first time at school, I was like, okay, and what now? I will learn it to the test and that's over. But later I put more deeply in some similar stuff like personal developing and positive thinking, and it all starting to make sense. And a few months ago I have read one short story I would like to tell you now. There was one college professor in front of a full class of his students. And once he asked them a very simple question. Is everything around us created by God? One student very quietly answered, yes sir, God created everything. Bless you. If God created everything, He created evil as well. So this doesn't make God so merciful. The student was so ashamed that he cannot make any voice. But the other student raised his hand and said, Professor, I have one question. Is there any cold? Professor was shocked by a primitive question. Yes, of course, there is a cold. You have never felt it yet? Well, Professor, in fact, there is no cold. You cannot measure cold. You cannot assign cold energy to something. It's just absence of warmth. Warm you can measure. It has its scale. So there is no cold. And Professor, is there any dark? Professor was a bit shocked, so he answered, yes, there is dark. I'm sorry, Professor, but there is no dark. The light beam is what you can divide, what you can study, and light has its measure, not dark. Dark is just absence of light. It's created by us to describe what we see or don't see, so in absence of light. And the professor, the last question, is there any evil? Professor was chaffered by these questions, so yes, there is. You can see it everywhere. Violence, robberies, murders, rapes. Everything is displaying evilness. I'm sorry, Professor, but no, there is no evil. Evil is just absence of good in us. It's just absence of love in our heart. It comes when it comes dark and cold. So in absence of warm, light, and love. It said that student was Albert Einstein. To be honest, I don't care who it was. The student showed me how should I feel about any bad things happen to me. So now I'm giving love everywhere I see it's missing. I believe you will take something from this speech, and next time, if you will be in fight with your partner or something, instead of screaming at him or her, you will tell, I love you, and put as much love in it as possible. And you will see how this fight would calm down and everything will be great. Thank you.